Right, welcome back again everyone. This is video number 9 of the hot air engine build. This video is going to be on the displacer and shaft. So there's the drawing to it. So I've just been having a quick look at it. This part here actually come in was sitting here in this tube when I took it apart. It's only just a Sharpie. Hope you can see that. It's just a Sharpie outer casing, aluminium outer casing. That's what it says in the drawing. So that's this end here. What I need to do is machine up this part here, 15mm long. Hope you can see all this. 15mm long. And then drill it and tap it M3 and turn the OD down so it fits nice and neat inside there. And this shaft here, needs to be 103mm long with M3 thread on each end. So that's those bits. And there's this bit here on the side. There's bits of that drawing and don't really make sense. I'm sure once I start to build it, it should make a bit more sense. Alright, the first part, we'll head over to the lathe and I'll machine this part up. That's this end here, so it fits inside here. And I'll drill and tap at M3. So I'll head over and do that. Alright, I've got this set up in the collet. This is the Sharpie. I've got to make it a nice neat fit inside there. The actual ID of this is 14.2mm and the diameter of this aluminium is 16, so I've got a little bit to come off. So what I'll do is I'll just sneak up on the sides and just get it to nicely slide on, because it's got to be actually Loctited in there once I get it all installed in the engine. Yeah, so I'll get a nice neat fit on there, and I'll part it off and then I'll set it back up in the collet chuck and then I'll drill and tap it M3. So you can get that good airtight sound when you pop it off. Alright, that's a good fit. Alright, I'll part it off and then I'll set it back up. Alright, I'll set that back up in the chuck and drill and tap at M3. Okay, the next part's this shaft I've got to do. I've already cut it to length. It's 103 millimeters long. I've got to cut a M3 thread on either end, so one of them's got to be 7 millimeters down, and on the other side needs to be 15 millimeters. So I'll just use a die nut in there to cut it. Okay, that's the 7 millimeter long one. I'll swing it round. Alright, we'll go over and fit it to the other part and we'll see how it fits together. I'll just put the parts together that I've made already. That screws in there. This part here turned out a nice neat fit, as you can hear from the popping air. And that goes in there, so that's this bit here, that's in camera shot. That's this bit here. So this shaft, and this actually, there's the piston that goes on there. So this all sort of works independent of one another. This will all go in the cylinder here. So the piston will be going up and down, and the displacer will be going up and down different times. So that's how that's all fitting so far. Just back off. Alright, so what I need to do now is make this end here. There's a couple of dimensions not there, so I'll just have to make it, just like wing it. So this is a bit of 6 millimeter brass. Let's get something to put with me. Bit of 6 millimeter brass there. That's at 6 mil diameter here. The length, it doesn't have a length on this bit. And this part here, I'm assuming it's a bit of this shaft, so I'll have to cut that to length. And an M2, it says stud there, so that'd be an M2 stud. It's got to be all soft soldered together. Right, so first thing I'll do, I'll take this to the lathe and drill and tap that out M3, and I'll just have to work off the length on this drawing here, because there's no dimension for that length. Alright, so what I'll do, I'll go over and set it up, drill and tap it M3, and then I'll part it off the right length. So I'll go and set that bit up first. Alright, I've got it in the chuck. I'll face it off, then I'll part it off. The actual length is actually 7 millimeters, the same as the threaded end on that other bit of shaft I had. So I'll part it off 7 mil long, and then I'll set it back up in the chuck, and I'll drill and tap it M3. Right, I've got all these parts made up. This is a bit here I've got to make. So these are all going to be soft soldered together. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, I reckon. And that's what it's going to roughly look like. So what I'll do this off camera. I'll soft solder all those bits together, and I'll come back when I get that done, because that's probably going to take a little bit of work to get that right. Alright, I finished the displacer and the shaft. So this is what it actually looks like when it's put together. So that's the piston we did in the video before. And this is the little part I just made up then. Screws on there. As I said before, that'll get Loctited on there. And this is actually a cylinder that it slides into. So that's how it's all going to go together. At least this part's fitting anyway. Alright, so that's video number 9 finished. So video number 10, this the other way, with the cooling assembly stands. So there'll be those 2 components, I think they are. Yep, those 2. Alright, thanks for watching, and on to the next bit.